Hi, my name is Brian Shin, and I just recently started trading stocks and opened my credit card as I have turned 18 in the past 4 months. The term credit score and all these things may seem a lot of confusion to a lot of high schoolers and even college students, but I think it's super important to be financially literate before graduating high school. Learning why credit cards are so important, how taxes work, how stocks work, all these things. So I'd like to advocate for high school is teaching you financial literacy before you actually enter college. So today I'll be teaching you guys the effects of credit score and how taxes work on trading and why you should care about this if you want to make the most out of your paycheck. So basically, college is a time of life when everyone is sleep deprived, money deprived, everything. You have too little time to do anything. You have so much to do, and you don't want to add more stress on top of that from your car rental being so much higher than everyone else's because you didn't start early on building your credit score. So basically, if you have an 800 credit score, your car loan may be around, let's say 5%, and someone with a 500 credit score is super bad because they just started out. They'll be paying maybe like 11%. So that 6% difference may seem small, but on a 30,000 car in 18 months, that comes to around $1,100 from nothing except for a good credit score. That's it. So you could save that 1,100 and just put it somewhere else, but it's just gone now because someone didn't teach you to manage your credit score, and now you're just losing money from nothing. So how do we keep a good credit score? So when we turn 18 years old, you can open your own credit card, right? Even before that, if your parents are smart enough in finance, economics, they can sign you up and add you to their account. But I know a lot of people aren't gifted with that opportunity. So once you turn 18, you need to open your credit card and start paying off your monthly fees just using the card. But you should never overuse it. You should always use your card as a debit card, as if you have the actual money. Because a lot of people may overspend on credit cards and it seems like no money at all because you just have a magic credit limit and you can spend as much as money as you want until you reach your limit. But when you have to pay for that, it's gonna be a big problem if you don't pay for it because it's gonna be left on your permanent record, and you need to have a good record in order for banks and mortgages to see that you're a responsible payer and you can actually pay back the debt and you're responsible enough to manage your money. So it'll incentivize them and it'll help them know who's actually good with money and if they're actually gonna pay their money on time. That's why it's so important to establish a credit. And also, the problem is that when you graduate and go into college, a lot of people want to start businesses, right? Once you start businesses, you need a loan. Unless you're filthy rich, a lot of people start taking a loan for their cars, for a business idea they have. And depending on your credit score, banks and mortgages may depend to either loan you, accept you, or change the amount that they give you based on your credit score because they know of your payment history and they know how financially responsible you are based on your credit score. That's the second thing. So the last thing is that a lot of people like me that recently turned 18, we always see on TikTok and Instagram all these like trading, all these stocks, but it's really, really important to understand why it's so prevalent and why people make so much money from it. So basically, if you open an account on Phantom, Coinbase, Kraken, Webull, Robinhood, all these brokerages, crypto accounts, there's a reason that these apps are so popular. It's because it's fast, but also because they have a lot of money that they can use to make the app better because of the fees they charge. So let's say you have $100, right? If you put that $100 into an app and transfer it out to another app because you bought some currency on there like Bitcoin or Solana, there's always fees. There's always fees on that. Maybe you'll buy $100, maybe you'll get $96. 200, you'll get $192. A percentage fee on that, and also when you start trading, when you start actually putting money in the brokerage or sell buy, and withdraw, you don't know it, but your profits may be offset by the amount of fees you actually have. So let's say the fees are $2 per trade. If you lose $2 per trade and your profit is only 10% on maybe like $50, you're barely breaking even. And considering that we don't win 100% of the time. We mostly lose, especially for the early traders. You're most likely to lose, so you're just doubling your losses from from the fees and your negative profits. So it's important to realize that young traders like us, we're the prime target from the people that actually make money. People that make money from people like us that don't study and just go into the business without any knowledge. That's why it's so important to realize it's basically gambling if you don't have adequate time and money that you actually put into it. The dopamine you get from trying to chase a stock or a crypto coin that goes 100 times, just like Bitcoin in 2010, it's almost as small as winning a jackpot or winning the lottery because in today's modern age where it's so prevalent, it's honestly not happening for a lot of people. You need to be an insider group or have a lot of knowledge beforehand to actually make the money you make. It's just better to start off with having a stable job and just using it as like a little bit of fun instead of your actual source of income. If you're not gonna put in hours and hours like a full-time job or like full-time school work, if you don't put that much hours into trading stocks, all of that, then you're better off just like having a financially stable job and you can lose a lot. You can lose a lot really, really quick in these type of digital markets where it doesn't seem like you're using money, but you actually are. So these are the reasons why I think that people should be financially literate after graduating high school. Thank you.